Hi everyone, and welcome to a cooking video. I'm going to show you how I make liver and onions with mashed potatoes. There's various ways people make this, various ingredients, but I'm going to show you the way my grandmother did it, and it just tastes absolutely fantastic. So let's get going. So the ingredients I'm using are potatoes peeled and prepared, ready to boil, and they'll take about 20 odd minutes when they're boiling. You need a frying pan. You need the liver itself, which in this case is lamb's liver, only £1. There's only me that eats this here, so I'm going to cook all that and it'll do 2 meals for me. So liver, 1 onion, I use 2 oxos, salt and pepper, plain flour and oil, just a spot of oil to cook the liver. Okay, I've just turned the potatoes on, so they're starting to, well, not boil, but they're going to start boiling just now. So what we do is we add a little bit of oil, not too much, and we'll put the heat on. Wrong one. Just very low. Now, one thing I do is I bring the liver out of the fridge 20 minutes before I start cooking it. That's important. It reaches room temperature. And another thing I found is the heat must be mild. Some people do sear it in hot oil to seal it. I don't do it like that. I do it nice and gentle. Just get that coated. And we'll start then to add the liver. It's a very good source of iron for those that are interested in its health benefits. Some people don't like handling liver, but that's one of those things. You can use a tweezers or something like that, but it is worth it in the end. It seems a lot of liver here, but this will do. It'll do me 2 meals, and I'm not going to waste any. There you go. Right, so the potatoes are starting to simmer. The liver, I've just turned it over, and that's just very gently simmering. So that's lovely. Time to prepare the onion. So what I'm going to do is straight in half and coarsely chop it. I'm not going to mess about. So what I'll do is probably just a very basic. That's it. And then I'm going to waste any. That's that. The same with this one. And that's as simple as that. Now what we'll do now is add the onions to the liver. Right, there's the liver, and it's starting to change colour, and there is spots of blood and all that sort of stuff, but don't worry about that, that's normal. That's all part of it. And what we do is we just simply add the onion. Chuck it in as it is. Right. And give it a bit of a stir. So what you can do now is leave that just for a few minutes, let it settle in. These chunks, don't worry about it, you can, as it is. There we go. So let that simmer for a couple of minutes. Right, they've been cooking now for a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. just to let the onion sort of settle in. And what I'm going to do now is sprinkle crumbled 2 oxos over there. In fact, you don't have to add 2, it's to taste, but I like adding 2 oxos. You could use gravy granules, which will give you an instant thick gravy. You can add stock pots, anything like that, but this is the way my grandmother did it and the way I enjoyed it, so it's the way I'm going to do it. Right, now we've done that, a secret ingredient, and this is what gives it its flavour. We're going to add now some water from the potatoes, so I'll show you. We're going to pour some of that into there, and I will re-top the potato water with some boiled water from the kettle, so it'll carry on cooking the potatoes. And right, let's get going. So very gently. Right, just top that up. Now, as you can see, we're going to mix all this now and let it simmer very, very slowly. Simmer, simmer, simmer. And oh, the smell! Can't wait. So that's simmering lovely now. As you can see, look at that gravy, beautiful. And we're going to add now salt and pepper. So grind salt, black pepper, and mix it in. And throughout this process, the heat is on its lowest setting. So to recap, we've taken the liver out of the fridge 20 minutes before cooking, so it reaches room temperature. Then we've put some oil in this frying pan on this lowest heat. Put the liver in, let it cook for a few minutes. While that's cooking, you prepare your onion. Your potatoes are on the boil, obviously, and chop your onion, add the onion, let it cook for a further 2 or 3 minutes. Add 2 oxos, as I did, but you can add to taste. As I say, you can use gravy granules, these stock pots as well, wherever you want, but I use 2 oxos, that's the way it was done for me. And let it simmer like that on a very low heat. Add in potato water or any other vegetables you're boiling. In my case today it's potatoes. That adds to the flavour of the gravy. We've added now, it's simmering away nice and slow, and I've added salt and pepper. Now the only thing I'm going to add to this now is flour. About a teaspoon of flour. It'll become lumpy. Don't worry about that, that's part of it. That will dissolve as it simmers. And what that'll do is it'll give a nice thick gravy. So we'll add the flour now. Oh, here we go. And don't worry about sieving it or all that. Just sort of sprinkle it with a spoon. And that'll give us the thickness for the gravy. You can use corn flour if you wish, but don't worry about it being lumpy, anything like that. Just stir it in. And if you need to, you can add more water from the potatoes. Right, I don't know if you can tell, but it has thickened up now. I've added no more water, anything like that. if I zoom in a bit. Absolutely fantastic. I wish I could smell this actually. Another thing some people do is when they get the liver at the beginning, they dip like you would battering a fish. They dip the liver into flour like that and then fry it. I don't do it like that. This is the way it's always been done by my grandmother, so I'm following that recipe. And as you can see, or hopefully see, it's works very well. Potatoes are nearly ready now, so we'll leave this, as I say, simmer on a low heat, nice and gentle. And in fact, I'm going to have a taste of this gravy. Let's see what happens. Oh my word. Okay, now that is good eating. Right, potatoes are ready, so I've drained them. And all I need to do now is give them a mash. And as I say, I've done a lot because this will do me 2 meals, and you'll find it tastes fantastic. But the liver tomorrow, I'll leave it cool down what I don't use, and then put it in the fridge and then reheat it tomorrow, and the taste the second day is even better than it today because it's marinated in its own gravy overnight. And for very little money, I'd say all this cost about £2.50 if that, and I'm having 2 very good meals. So I'm very happy with that. Right, that should do it. So I'll plate up and I'll get back to you. So here we have it. Put some liver on. Oh, this is how I do it anyway. And I'm not forgetting the gravy. It's thick gravy, how I like it, and it's as simple as that really. So there you go, liver and onions and mashed potatoes done the old-fashioned way. So here we go with a taste test. I've just put some black pepper on top, so we'll have a piece of liver. That's a piece of that, and it's lovely and tender, cooked to perfection. Bit of mash, bit of gravy. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope people find it interesting or helpful, and thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.